Hello, you're watching Sightline. Our guest today is Ms. Munkhbolor, National Program Coordinator of UNIDO in Mongolia. Munkhbolor, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for the invitation.
So, there are 11 specialized UN agencies in Mongolia, including United Nations Industrial Development Organization, which is known as UNIDO. And could you tell us what UNIDO is and how it differs from other specialized agencies of United Nations?
UN in Mongolia, through its specialized agencies, providing technical assistance for the government of Mongolia in various sectors and helping to achieve sustainable development goals. UNIDO is one of the agencies of the United Nations with mandate of industrial development for inclusive and sustainable way. UNIDO has 170 member countries, and Mongolia joined UNIDO in 1985, and UNIDO has been active, in fact, in Mongolia since 1968, and we have been supporting the government of Mongolia in the field of light industry, including food and non-food, agriculture and livestock, as well as energy and environment. And UNIDO's ongoing technical cooperation portfolio in Mongolia falls into two main categories, agro-industries and livestock processing, including through industrial parks and SMEs development, and energy and environment, working towards elimination of mercury pollution in the environment under the Stockholm and Minamata Conventions and Paris Agreement. We pay special importance of agro-industries through local value addition and economic diversification. UNIDO has been implementing over 88 technical assistance projects over the last 50 years in Mongolia, and mainly focused in the SME development, technical support, technology transfer for the private sector, especially in the mentioned agro-industries, energy and environment sectors.
So this year marks the 60th anniversary of Mongolia's accession to the United Nations, and also UNIDO just celebrated its 55th anniversary of establishment. So what are your thoughts on the United Nations and UNIDO's relationship with Mongolia over the past 5 or 6 decades?
Yes. We are very happy that we have celebrated our 60th anniversary, and a number of events have been organized with the leadership of our resident coordinator of the United Nations in Mongolia. And with the government of Mongolia, UNIDO has been always committed to achieve the sustainable development goals, especially SDG 9 on industry, innovation and infrastructure, and SDG 7 on affordable and clean energy. And we have been supporting the government of Mongolia, especially in the field of light industry, as I mentioned earlier. And now we are in a more new phase of the partnerships with the government, especially towards green and inclusive as well as sustainable industrial development. And we have implemented a number of projects together with the government, and I would like to introduce some of the examples. And I brought today these sample wool yarns, and I would like to give you some examples how we are working with the country, especially in the light industry sector. 2018, until June 2021, we implemented European Union funded support to employment creation in Mongolia, or SIKIM project, jointly with Ministry of Food, Agriculture and Light Industry and FAO. And within the framework of this project, we aimed to support building competitiveness of the private sector, especially fiber, including wool and cashmere, as well as leather and food enterprises. The project was implemented in cooperation with both public and private sector partnerships, and we worked mainly on improving the quality of the supply chain, especially the raw materials from the livestock, and add value to the livestock products towards increasing the exports. And other strategy of our project was to support the import substitution and develop new products. So one of the examples in the field of improving the quality of the supply chain in the livestock sector was to improve the quality of raw wool and also hides and skins. And today I brought these examples of the wool yarn, and we introduced the shearing of sheep using modern technology, like in Australia and New Zealand. And this is, for example, the handout that we have prepared for the shearers, and we invited shearers, expert shearers from Australia and New Zealand, and trained a number of Mongolian shearers, especially young rural cooperative members. With the shorn wool, we also tested this spinning, upgraded spinning technology by introducing new standard operating procedure with help of our international and national technical textile experts. So these yarns show that Mongolian industry is able to improve their quality and add value to the livestock products. And with the yarn, we are able to continue making new products like blankets and garments, and we are planning to promote for the market those products. And the other example I would like to share with you is that this zero defect hides and skins through using the technology called SFF, or static flaying frame. So it also contributes to improving the quality of the hides and skins at the raw stage, and then once you improve the quality of the raw material, then it is highly efficient and helpful for the leather industry.
The traditional way of skinning the hides and the skins, there are certain defects, and like how many percentage of the skins have got this defect with the traditional method, and also with the improved one using this technology? What difference are you making?
So according to the assessment of Mongolian Association of Leather Industry, almost 70 to 90% of the hides and skins have defect and damages caused by animal health issues like parasite or tick marks, and also the mechanic damages caused by during the slaughtering stage. And that's why we, together with the Mongolian Association of Leather Industry and local cooperatives, as well as the ministry, aimed to solve this issue, at least at the stage of introducing locally available, internationally recognized and affordable technology like this static flaying frame. In the leather industry in the world, Mongolian leather is very much demanded because of its good quality, and also the country of nomadic pasture. However, the global market demands the high quality raw materials or semi-processed or processed leather from Mongolia. And that's why with solving this simple technology would help to increase the value of the Mongolian leather in the global market.
Could you elaborate on the clean technologies that you have introduced? On what requirements is it considered as a clean technology?
So we are designing a new project in cooperation with Ministry of Environment and Tourism and other line ministries on introducing UNIDO's Global Cleantech Innovation Program. And we focus on light industry, SMEs and startups to build their capacity by introducing energy efficient and renewable energy clean technologies in their businesses, and coach those SMEs and startups to prepare bankable projects towards green funding like green loan or green grants in the future. And it covers also the textile, leather and food manufacturing industries. And those industries, companies would be able to introduce new technologies to save their energy, and that way they would also promote clean and green businesses and promote green jobs as well.
So could I ask you, like, how much value is added to the supply chain with these technologies, both the one with the heightened skin, no defects, and also this yarn technology?
So if we can expand this technology throughout the country, especially in the SUMs, in IMAX, let's say over 330 SUMs, then we would be able to solve the supply chain quality problem fully. But it depends on the people who are preparing the raw materials, and also the government policy support, as well as investments needed to solve this issue.
Absolutely. So my next question is about very similar to what we've just discussed. In the current industrial revolution, the fourth industrial revolution, modern technology plays a vital role for the industrial sector, as better technology provides more opportunities like this. And how much of this current light industrial sector is modernized today, especially in Mongolia? And what are the biggest challenges in modernizing and using these technologies in the sector?
Mongolian light industry sector is trying to introduce modern technologies such as blockchain-based traceability system and some technologies like Pharos software that, especially for the software, UNIDO has introduced for the last 2 years to monitor the processing factory operation. However, the industry is still having challenges with limited awareness of the modern technologies and skills and knowledge, especially the hands-on skills and knowledge, research and development, investment promotion and planning. If the industry is modernized through digitalization or special technology, the Mongolian SMEs in the light industry would increase their competitiveness very highly. But there is a lot of opportunity to introduce such modern technologies in the case of investments and readiness of the industry.
Okay, thank you. The United Nations Resident Coordinator in Mongolia, Tapan Mishra, has highlighted UNIDO's work in improving supply chains and value chain export quality, as work in this area greatly contributes to the achievements of the SDGs. So, what technologies and international practices has UNIDO introduced in order to improve Mongolia's supply and value chains? We've discussed it before, but could you elaborate more on that?
Yes, as we discussed before, the supply chain quality system needs to be upgraded in the Mongolian light industry. Especially, agriculture and livestock sector is one of the most important sectors in Mongolia for economic diversification. However, the raw material quality in the supply chain is often doesn't meet the international requirements and standards. Therefore, we as UNIDO, as a technical agency, aimed to transfer knowledge and technology through improving the quality of the wool and leather, hides and skins. And we introduced very practical, hands-on knowledge and expertise in cooperation with the government and private sector. So once you have better quality raw materials supplied to the processing industry, processing factories, we solve a big problem of having the quality, we solve the quality problems that are demanded by the international buyers.
So what's the biggest reason of the low standard of raw materials for Mongolia? Is it because of the quality of the livestock itself, or is it because of the processing way of those raw materials?
So it has a number of reasons, including livestock quality, especially genetics, breeds, keeping the pure breed of the animals, but also animal health issues. And on the other hand, it's just the commitment of the herders and cooperatives who are preparing the raw materials for their income generation. And it's very important to understand it's not only for the herders' benefit, but it is also for the benefit of the Mongolian industrial sector, economy. That's why it is very important for development partners like us, and also the government of Mongolia, and everybody would need to provide better understanding at all levels that we have. We are contributing very important aspects for the economic development through improving the very primary level of issues related to the raw materials quality.
Absolutely. We can say that UNIDO in Mongolia has been very successful in operating its activities. And you have been working as the program coordinator for the past 3 years. And what are the highlights that you would like to mention that happened during the past 3 years?
My role is to fly the flag of UNIDO in Mongolia and support the government of Mongolia's priorities, especially to achieve the goals under the Vision 2050. And over the last 3 years, worked as a national project coordinator. My main approach was to implement the project without any delays, because every project has limited budget, limited resources and timeline. Therefore, unnecessary delays shouldn't happen in implementation of the project. So this was my main approach, and the way that we work is that we visit the factories on site, identify the bottlenecks and search for the solutions in consultation with our multidisciplinary experts, and we introduce on the ground solutions based on identified bottlenecks. And those interventions would provide proof of concept that could be upscaled. So this is how we work and how we also worked over the last 3 years.
Ms. Munkhbolor, thank you very much for joining us on Sightline. You've watched Sightline. Our guest was Ms. Munkhbolor Gungaa, Project Coordinator of UNIDO in Mongolia. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.